Hello, this is Brother Johnny Williams with another edition of In the Word. This is actually day 2 of my pastor challenge. The first challenge has been accepted. Again, today we're going to talk on another subject. And in the end, I'm going to challenge another pastor in the spirit of uplifting God and one another to add to what we're about to talk about today. And what we're about to talk about today is the state of the world. I'll ask any one of you, brothers and sisters, do you pay attention? Do you watch the news? Do you see what is going on around you each and every day? My God, it looks like you watch the news or you see something one day and my God, how terrible that is. And it looks like the next day you see something even more terrible than what you just saw the day before. And then one goes to wonder, why are these things happening? I mean, what could make a person do things like that? How could something like that even come to their thoughts? Well, as I've said before, the Bible foretells all these things. Not only are they happening today, but they have happened in the past. All these grotesque things. I mean, you would think that, hey, look at all the killing and all the shootings going on today. Well, of course, we have guns today. Back then, they had spears and chariots. Still, the same gruesome, grotesque things were going on. But it also explains to you that there were wicked people, there were good people. There has always been, from the beginning of creation, there has always been evil. Now you might say, Reverend, why are you saying from the beginning of creation there was evil? Well, do you remember the serpent that beguiled Eve and that her partake of the fruit that she was not to partake from? Was that not evil? I'll let that sit there for just a minute. Getting back to today. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, men and women of God, pastors, I have said, I will continue to say, the devil is alive and well. He is running rampant. He is causing destruction on every hand, however much and however way he can. He is doing it because he knows that his time is short. I said the other day that we need to put on a united front on this battlefield. Sometimes it looks as if the line has broken, like there's a division in us. I'll say us pastors. It looks like some of us are going this way and some of us are going that way, instead of everybody marching together straight forward. There's no break in our ranks. So I come up with this. I prayed about it. And I said I was going to put this into motion. The pastor challenge. Again, one more time. We are going to speak about different issues each and every time I come to you. Now, I said I was going to do this for 1 week, but I'm actually going to extend it to a couple of weeks because, as I said, there are some old soldiers that have been out there a long time. A lot of you I admire. And I like listening and learning from you. So today, we're going to talk about these one-parent households and the good part and the bad part about them. Let's talk about the good part. Now, I'll use myself here. My mother and my father split up Wow, when I was just a little fellow, I think I was about 6, 7 years old. But and I'll use this word, I'll use this example with the utmost respect for all women. I had a very strong mother. Now, I watched my mother struggle, but I also watched her pray hard all the time. As they say, she did the best that she could. She didn't falter. I tell a lot of people, if I was hungry, she was hungry. If I was hot, she was hot. If I was cold, she was cold. I can't remember a time that I didn't look around and I didn't see my mother. I can't remember a time that I've really heard my mother talk bad about anyone. All the time she would tell us, son, always remember to pray. She always taught us how to pray and always love one another. All throughout my life, that's what she told. When I say me, I mean us, all of my siblings. So that is one of the good parts to a one parent household. When you have a person, regardless of what, they will keep their eye on the prize. And that is walking with God and struggling to heal their land. Now, the bad side of that, and I tell people every day, there is so much that you can learn from mother. There's so much you can learn from father. Now, I'll break it down like this. There's so much, especially a young man can learn from his mother. He needs a father there for that, I'll just say that correct kind of guidance, trying to show him how to be a man. Not only telling him, but showing him the responsibilities of a man. It's kind of hard for a mother to show a young man how to be a man. It's kind of hard. I didn't say impossible because my mother showed me. Not so much by her words, but her actions of how I was supposed to treat a woman. But it's a different outlook when it comes from a man's perspective. There are different things that a father talks to his son about. So when you get a one-parent household, whether it be mother or whether it be father, there is something lacking there. Excuse me. And when you have something lacking in that household, it is very easy for the devil to exploit that. Excuse me. And when he exploits it, when he, as I always say, sinks his claws in, sometimes it's hard to get those claws out. And it causes damage that can be lasting, life lasting. Give you an example. And I want somebody to answer this question. I want somebody to give a comment on this one. Say you're in a household. Mother and father are constantly fighting and arguing all the time. There is no peace. What are those children learning? What are they learning? I'll tell you, they're learning that that is the way that their household is supposed to be. That's what they're learning. I'll use this phrase, and I don't want to confuse anyone, but there's a phrase where Jesus says, "Don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." Now let's take that in this context. If mother and father, they're going to be arguments. There's going to be confusion. in a household, in a marriage. Have no doubt. Living witness here. It's going to happen. But one of the things that me and my wife did, when we had an argument or disagreement, we did our very best not to let the children see that. Sometimes you can do your best. I know I was. Children are nosy, and they will listen, and they will try to see what is going on. But we tried to hide that, shield them from that as best we could, because we didn't want them to see any kind of division between mother and father. Again, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I'm going to keep coming at you on this subject because God has given this to me. This is my firm belief. That is why there is such turmoil and such evil in the world today, because we have babies having babies because they don't know any better, because that is what they were taught. I came up with the term the other day, and I'm going to see if you can follow along with this. And here goes. Nothing cannot teach nothing to be something. I'll let it sit there for a minute. Now, you take a something and a nothing and you put them together. Okay. This something can teach this nothing to be something. How can this something teach this nothing to be something? Because this something has something to give nothing. Now that may sound kind of confusing, but there are some of you out there that have lived long enough, you will understand that statement. And if you don't, here comes my challenge, my pastor challenge. Today, Bishop Leroy Carter. Maybe they didn't hear what I said. Would you be so kind as to step up and add to this conversation? That is my challenge to Bishop Carter, a man that I've known for quite some time and a man I admired for quite some time. And I'm going to close on that one. We're getting better all the time. We're getting better all the time. We're not what we're supposed to be, but we are better than we used to be. You know why? Because we have a made up mind. Thank you. God bless you. Take the challenge, Bishop Carter. Have a good night.